There we go.
Live.
Live.
Ah, live.
Live is
Live.
live.
Live. Are we live? Live. La 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 la. I think so. Let me check this.
Looks pretty live over here.
Yeah, looks pretty live over there. That's good.
Yep. Live.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, looks pretty live over there. Nice. That's good.
Nice, guys.
Nice. Fantastic. Yeah, looks pretty live over there. Awesome, and we have feedback. Great. Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Alive. That's good. For us, this is day number 5.
Yeah.
But we'll call it day 3 for the continuity. Hi.
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 Hoi.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How
Good.
are you?
I'm feeling good. Feeling good, feeling preppy.
Feeling good, feeling great.
Feeling great. Yeah, man.
Nice.
It's been a good week, I would say.
True.
Right?
Definitely.
Definitely. Here, let me just pull this up a little bit.
We recorded some weird shit.
Oh wow, I see right here. Thanks for giving me the perfect excuse for not mowing the backyard this afternoon. Happy to be of service. That's very good.
Your backyard.
Yeah. Did I get a haircut? Yes, indeed, I did. Actually, it's hairdressers have reopened, and I figured it was time.
For the people who dare to go there.
Yeah, it
There
was
are
it
haircuts.
was an interesting experience though, because I was all prepared to go in there with a hairdresser wearing a hazmat suit or something, but
Did you wear a mouthpiece, probably?
he didn't care at all. It was
Good to know.
yeah, that was interesting, but I think I've been okay. Not dead yet.
No.
How about you? How are you feeling?
I need to go see a hairdresser as well. But I'm not. Nah, I don't feel comfortable yet going. I
No?
don't know. I'm feeling good though.
Yeah?
I hope. Was pretty interesting to be in a room with people again.
Right, yeah, because you've been full on lockdown, right?
Yeah, I've done some things, but like it definitely it didn't feel really good to start on doing
Right.
things. It just felt a bit weird.
Yeah.
Not that I'm too paranoid, but just noticed anytime I did something, I was like fingers crossed about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just it didn't feel really good.
It fucks with your mind, right?
It does, especially when you're a smoker and you have a daily cough already.
Oh my god, yeah.
You're like, is this cough getting worse, or
Yeah.
is this just
Is this normal?
yeah? It's pretty nerve wracking.
Yeah, waking up with a pile of mucus on the pillow.
No, but it was about time to start doing stuff again.
Right, yeah.
And,
So is this your first session you've been doing again, or?
I've been making a bit of music with James Zoo,
Right?
but for the rest, like as in proper session, yeah, this is my first
Okay,
session.
yeah.
I haven't done a lot.
Speaking of James Sue, I saw this. I saw the shirt he was wearing.
Yeah.
It's,
I'm not sure if he's comfortable with speaking of the contents of
his
of
T-shirt.
said shirt.
Fair enough.
But
Well,
no, but yeah, people have been hit. I mean, especially in the south. I know a lot of people who had it.
Yeah, because
Like a shitload of people.
you guys
who
had
it.
like this massive carnival thing. What is it? The whole.
Yeah, it's like that's probably was one of the biggest outbreak spots for the Netherlands. Like
Yeah.
so, there's carnival. It's 4 days, or 4 or 5 days a year. And it's just
Mhm.
total madness in the south.
Yeah.
And they think some people just came from Italy and just had a party there for 4 days.
Right.
Then it spread massively. It can only have, it was probably the Carnival Fest.
Yeah.
It's just massive, and like
Yeah.
everybody in the south had it. Not
Yeah,
everybody, but a
it's
lot
a-
of people had vague.
I guess that party is kind of like the exact opposite of social distancing.
Yeah, that's exactly what you shouldn't do. It's just
Yeah.
people cramped up in like the whole city is cramped up. So
Fair enough. Yeah.
that's probably where it started for the Netherlands.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucked. But I've a lot of family that works in the hospital, and they all had it as well.
Right.
It's pretty
Yeah.
sick.
But they all made it out okay.
Yeah, but
That's fucking awesome.
yeah, but
That's good.
damn, it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's weird shit, man.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
pretty high, 6,000 deaths in Holland.
Yeah, that's pretty grim, to be honest.
But yeah, let's
But
not.
oh well. Yeah, it's
let's not talk
I
about
think
corona.
it's I'm quite grateful actually right now that we are able to do a session like this again,
Yeah, definitely.
because I mean, yeah, after doing all these sessions just on my bedroom, and you've been going at it as well, just doing daily streams and everything.
Yeah.
It's been great seeing you working it live.
Likewise.
It's for those of you who have not seen Niels over here before, you should definitely check out his Twitch channel, Moog Meditations. And,
I haven't been really active last week though. But
Yeah, last week you've been kind of laying low,
ditching.
right?
Sorry, subs.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm
No,
sure you're gonna
but,
make up for it.
Oh yeah, I want to stream next week again.
And I heard that you finally got your recording set up.
Yeah, perfect.
That's good.
So I'm having these neat little maps now on my computer.
I can't believe you actually banned me for that shit.
Oh yeah. Now you got a timeout. 600-second timeout.
600-second
the
timeout for nagging the shit
The
out of me.
first ban in my channel ever.
Yes, well,
Probably the last one.
fuck yeah. I mean, I'm doubling down on that. I'm happy that you...
Watch out, man. Next
Watch
time
out.
next time it's a perma ban.
Oh man, yeah, you ain't playing.
You need to make a new account then.
Yeah, unleash the troll farm.
Yeah.
Fuck it. No man. So, it used to be Moog Meditations. Now it's just Niels Bros.
Yes.
Nice. You had a little name change. The
Yeah,
artist
no, it
formerly
might-
known as Moog Meditations,
might not be
formerly known
smart.
as Niels Bros.
That might not be smart to have a brand name in your profile.
Right.
I don't know how that works.
A brand name in your profile? Yeah, fair enough. That kind of makes sense, especially since said brand. Well, I don't know. I mean,
No.
it's I've been hating on Moog a lot this week.
Yeah, you're just a little mood
But it-
hater.
Yeah, but it comes quite naturally, I guess. It's
It's the battle of the sins.
yeah, quite. But I must say, the Moog one, it has impressed me. It's
It's mental.
it's a beast of a machine. It's seriously the only thing they need to figure out now is to actually get their CV ins and outs working.
Yeah, but I'm sure they're still working on it because
Yeah.
new updates are pretty serious every time. I think they build the whole thing so that they can just update it and fix it if you have a problem.
Yeah,
Just straight from the factory because it has like an Ethernet cable
that's,
you jam
that's
in.
fucking awesome.
so they can
Yeah.
probably just edit everything in it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They can probably make it into a really cheap digital synth if you would want that.
Nice. Yeah, fair enough.
Put like
Go
a-
all out chip tune on the thing.
Yeah.
It's,
would
yeah,
be
load
sick.
up some VSTs. Awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's have a look. We've been quite busy, and originally,
Original.
it was the plan to do streams every day and to kind of capture the entire process so far. But then we actually we kind of felt that the vibe we had off camera was way different.
Yeah.
Yep. It was like, especially the first 2 days, like the camera went on and it was instant, like, okay, now we gotta perform, you know. And there was
that's the thing. Yeah.
and that was ultimately we kind of made a judgment call to go like, you know what, to hell with it, we're gonna tame down the streaming, and we're just gonna focus on actually doing stuff.
Yeah.
And wild things happened. Actually.
Definitely. Weird. A lot of cool stuff
Weird
happened.
and wonderful and wild.
But it definitely made a difference. I don't know. I still don't know why it was like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's might be one of those. It's the same thing in physics, right? How they found
quantum
that.
physics.
Yes, well, let's go
The
full on
observer.
physics on things. Well, yeah, exactly. The whole thing of as soon as you're observed, or when a particle is observed, it behaves differently from when it isn't.
The double slit.
Yeah, the whole
experiment.
double slit thing.
Yeah.
It's I still don't understand what it actually means and what it is, so I'm probably misquoting all of it.
Yeah.
But I think we were just kind of behaving like particles in space. And
Basically, matter starts behaving like energy when it's observed. That's the whole
fucking awesome.
thing.
Tell me more, dude.
Dude. No, but it's like that's the thing about the double slit experiment. Like they transferred protons, photons through it, and then they put waves to it.
Mm-hmm.
So like water could be
Yep.
an option to do it, and then they measured where. Oh man, I'm gonna be butchering this so hard.
Do it.
And they found out that like once matter is being observed, it changes properties, or like it starts behaving like like waves.
Okay.
Let's not do this because I'm gonna get so much. It's the thing, like I've
man,
watched that
physics far
clip
out, man.
for 10 times now.
Right.
And now I think I sort of get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the whole dangerous thing about that thing was that like all sorts of people did a lot of interpretation on what that might mean for human observation, or
Right.
like
Yeah.
how basically like we just said like. But I feel, I mean, I feel a difference when a camera is at a gig.
Yeah.
Or when something is
It
recording.
makes sense.
It
It's,
makes a lot of difference.
Yeah. Oh no, that's true.
Even if it's just the Pro Tools running at home, or
Yeah.
you always seem to play better when you know
Yeah.
it's just you. And I think that's a lifelong battle as a musician.
Right. It's funny because I kind of feel the exact opposite, that as soon as the camera is rolling or there's something there,
Yeah.
all of a sudden there's kind of this baseline edge of
Yeah.
shit, I cannot fuck up right now.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And everything just has to flow in a on quite this slightly higher edge.
Yeah.
And when the camera's not there, when the stream is not on, or when it doesn't really matter, well, that's maybe that might be the translation. That as soon as there's nothing like that focusing on it,
Uh-huh.
it doesn't matter as much.
Yeah.
Whatever is happening, and that's it's one of those weird mind twists that I've made over the past few years, that I think I perform better under some sort of stress in
Right.
that sense. But it's
Same for me. Like it totally makes me perform different. But
Yeah.
I'm not always sure
if it's better.
which version is better.
Yeah, right.
Is it
Yeah, that
like the
makes sense.
version without
Yeah.
a camera?
Yeah.
And I feel like you have like 10% of your skills once you're being recorded, or
Right.
once a video is on it.
I see here from Synchrotron, I sound better when I'm not playing. Fair enough. It's like, yeah, well, when you're not making a sound, the potential for your outcome is infinite. So
I'm
in a way that that would make sense, but it's by abstaining your sounds, you are projecting the force of all the unplayed songs in the universe.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the same as when you have an idea in your head.
Versus when you're playing it.
Yeah,
it
when you're
sounds like
playing it,
shit.
it's like always it's a concession of how
Yeah.
far you can get to that idea.
I actually, I know a story about a Dutch musician who once called his drummer and said, like, in my head, I'm a much better drummer than you are.
Whoa.
And that was like, holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah, you're. We start saying stuff like, I won't call names, but when you start saying shit like that, it's time to visit a therapist.
Please tell me off stream.
I'll tell you
who
off
this
stream.
guy
It's that was really like, yeah. The dude told me like, "Mwah, that guy called me and this is what he said, and
Crazy. Well, I think I think about that. I think like say as a musician I am a 5.
Mm-hmm.
As a listener of music and like a critic of music,
Mm-hmm.
I feel that's always way further than your
Right.
skill, your actual skill on the instrument.
And do you
As
notice
in-
that skill is heightened when you're listening to your own stuff?
Yeah, of course, but like I people, I think your how do you say that? Like your perception of music is always a bit in front of your actual skill.
In front
And
of
that's
your
why
ability.
you
Right.
yeah.
It's
So like I'm a better critic, music critic maybe than
I was thinking about
Okay.
that actually, about something like that in the context of do you remember the our 3-hour session on yesterday's chords?
yeah.
Where I was thinking afterwards, like the main issue we had there, like we were working on a track, and the idea came to make a crazy ass chord progression on it and really
Yeah.
go all out on it, but somehow it just didn't. It was a lot of effort to get something there, and it just did not feel. In the end, it didn't feel and end up feeling right. And I was thinking later, like, yeah, the main issue I felt with it was that it did not feel like it came naturally in a way.
Right.
If that makes sense. Like we knew it would be awesome when it's there,
Mm-hmm.
but our inability to actually play it made it worse than any generic 3-note chord
Yeah, definitely.
we could come up with, simply for the fact that the 3-note chord would drive home so much easier and more natural and therefore more joyously than a crazy elaborate sequence that we were trying to pull off at that point. And that's
And I think just some ideas need some extra time. Like
Yeah.
if we would be back here in a week and
Sure.
then look at the chords in a totally
Yeah.
different setting,
true.
we could probably make something out of it.
That makes
like
sense. It's
Some,
like,
I think like some ideas you can
Yeah.
instantly.
yeah, an idea like that would really benefit from us crunching over it so long that in the end it would sound easy.
Yeah,
And by that time,
Exactly.
it actually sounds natural, and then it sounds like music. But until that time, it sounds like a fabricated piece of sound.
yeah.
It's-
It might, but I think like the dangerous thing about what we do, like dangerous is pretty
Yeah.
dramatic, but like
You and I, what we do.
our weakest are the I think like we're really impro based
Yeah.
in when we're writing and when of course when we're
Mhm.
streaming. And what I notice when the more I improvise, like my skill to sit
Mhm.
down and write something,
Yeah.
and like try out new
Yeah.
composition ideas,
Yeah.
like it degrades a bit if I
Yeah.
only do the jamming.
Right.
And like I really want to find a place where these two are in
Yeah, that makes
excel-
sense.
Like when
Where-
you do this
Yeah.
and like you find the raw building blocks of something, and then you sit down
Yeah.
and you look into different options for days maybe.
Yeah.
But in the end, because like we started with 4 chords,
Yeah.
and we ended with 12 or something. But the 12 chords are
Yeah.
it's a nice.
I think it was
progression.
32 actually in the end.
Oh,
It
shit.
was, yeah, it was a crazy ass fucking.
But it was a
progression.
nice progression.
It was a very nice progression. That's true. If only we could play it.
Yeah, but that's the
No, but
next
that's
step.
actually one of those things. Like I've been listening to you play for a long time, and what I always like the most about it is that everything you actually end up really nailing home. It sounds, it sounds easy. Well, maybe that's not the right word, but it sounds like it's easy for you to do. And then when I'm listening to it, I'm going like, what the actual crap? You're mastering that skill so far that you actually managed to bring humor into it.
Oh,
And
sick.
um,
Thanks, man.
but then if you listen to it from where I'm sitting, I'm going like, how the actual shit are you doing this? You know, and that's
But yes, same goes for you.
oh man, this is so good for our ego right
Let's
now.
just unzip. Anyway, no, but no, that's it. That's I really liked to finally sit together again.
Yeah.
Because like the stuff we do is really opposite from each other.
Right, that's
but
true.
we have put so many hours into making music together
Fucking hell, yeah.
that we're really like It's always
Dude,
something special happening.
Are you still suffering from PTSD of the Jam Sessions tour, or
I
is
think
that
we
over by
probably
now?
both are. Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah. That was
Yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
shit, but I think it learned me. I've learned so much more through that whole tour and through all the jamming we did.
Right. That was
than
actually
any
for a little bit of
school.
context. We did a tour in 2014, I think it was.
Yeah.
And that was with the entire orchestra, so it was like we were on a stage with 20 people ish.
Yeah.
And we had devised a language of how to communicate on stage and pass along chords and pass along melodies and rhythm structures and all that stuff. And then we decided not to write any songs, but just use those tools and do a full tour.
Yeah.
And
And years before that as well. I
Yeah,
mean, the
it's,
jams were always in every show.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was I do recall that the rehearsals we had were so much better than the actual tour. in the end.
That's an example again from
Yeah.
like
It's one of those things where everything just felt like it was
yeah.
like we had all the time and space in the world to just
You
fuck
just
around.
lose a lot of your abilities when you're live, and that's okay. You're
Yeah.
just you know.
Sure.
But I mean, for me personally, I could never do the streams as I do them now if I wouldn't have toured.
Right.
If I wouldn't, have
Yeah.
played so much.
That makes sense.
Jam sessions.
Frank Sammy. Fucking awesome.
Whoa.
Thank you so much.
Dude.
Session track name suggestion, Wisseloord Quantum Sessions. I like it. The Quantum Sessions it is.
Yes.
That's epic. Thank you so much. That is contributing towards this studio session week
Definitely.
and maybe even our lunch. Thank you for that. That's awesome. So, I actually propose let's just skip through some of the things that have happened this week and just listen back to some things. Because, frankly, I don't know, we've recorded so much stuff over these past couple of days. I'm quite curious what the
Yeah.
result is so far. It's there's a lot of noodling and bleeps in between, but let's just skip through some things.
Yeah,
And-
some of it is are just vibes, and
Right.
they need editing. And there was that was what we, set out to
Yeah.
do in some jams, and some jams are.
yeah.
a bit
I see-
more,
I see a very interesting question here, actually, from Heavenly Burgerheads. How simple can you make a composition before it becomes lame?
I think it's all about intention. Like I think it's in a lot of cases it's the end goal to keep something simple. Like
Yeah.
the hardest for me personally
Yeah,
the highest thing I can achieve is making something really advanced
Yeah.
sound really simple.
there's
Or
a
like you
yeah.
really feel
It's-
what the basis is of a track.
I think there's a great example, one of the best examples of simplicity, of a super simple idea, which works out, which ends up working very strong. Very quick, Mark Moyer, thank you so much. What's for lunch? We just had apples and omelets, and it was fucking awesome. Thank you for that. Going towards the next studio sessions. Very good. Great example of a very, very simple track with a very simple and very clear idea that that ended up being mind-blowingly awesome. Have you ever listened to Purcell? He's this composer from
Purcell,
yeah, Purcell, like 1600s. He wrote this opera, King Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one piece in there, the Cold Song, or What Power Art Thou? The entire song is nothing but quarter notes. Just vrum, vrum, vrum. All the parts, the entire string quartets, and an opera singer, only quarter notes.
Yeah.
Just non-stop.
Yeah.
And it's so tremendously powerful. Like
Yeah.
the other day when we were driving to the studio, I actually started crying when we were listening to the song, just going, oh, it's so good. But it's only quarter notes, and
Yeah.
it doesn't sound lame at all.
But it's in the end of the day, I think it's about ideas, like having
Yeah.
fresh ideas, and an idea can be really simple and it can be really advanced.
Yeah.
It can be anything really,
Yeah, exactly.
as long as it's really. That's what the beauty in art is about. Is like, holy shit, some human put this together.
Yeah.
Out of all the influences he has in his life,
Exactly.
and his whole
Yeah.
life led up to this moment where he
Yeah.
just made a total blue painting was really
Yves
deep.
Klein.
Yeah,
Fuck.
for example. And
Yes.
people don't get it, but like if think about like, you know, some people are so advanced in something that the next step is to abstract it and start to abstract it and really zoom out again.
Yeah.
And then, you know, that could be a really good reason to make something.
True. Yeah, it's in that sense, circling back to that actual question, I think it's a very, very simple composition sounding lame. I would pick a simple composition over a complex sausage any day if
yeah.
the simple composition ends up working out better.
Any day.
It's like the super complex stuff is awesome when when they manage to tie it all together. But with that complexity, let's go full on Spider-Man on it. But with that power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, and
Like you cannot simply go complex on something and then expect it to be good. You have to nail it.
yeah, and I
and-
think these two need to work together. You
Yeah.
can make a piece of super complex harmonies,
Yeah.
but then have the movement of
Yeah.
these harmonies be really simple, and then
Yeah.
that gives you the piece to listen to the harmonies better. Or
Right. Yeah.
It's all about balance, I think.
Yeah.
And that's a really fucked up thing about music education sometimes. Like you start to learn jazz music. Like one of the biggest challenges for me is just to forget about a lot of music theory and possibilities, you know, because I don't know, you sort of get taught in school to play a shitload of notes, but it doesn't always bring good music, you know.
Right.
Or like there's a whole school of music that thinks music should be different, or
Yeah.
should be advanced, or
Yeah.
theoretically really heavy.
Yeah.
And that's enough reason
Yeah.
for something to be a track.
True.
And I think that's
Well, yeah, no,
not
but there's
music
some
I
stuff
like.
if you listen to, for example, Varese with his compositions, or Cage was an example of that,
Yeah.
or Bitches Brew, Miles Davis. Holy shit! But
Ah,
the Bitches Brew, once again, I feel is one of those examples where it's not. Well, listening to it is more complex than the actual thing itself, but the idea is super strong.
yeah.
The driving intentions behind it are super strong, and it was, yeah, perceiving it is just as challenging as the composition itself is.
It's in
But-
the eye of the beholder, right? So
Yeah.
like if I would listen to Bitches Brew 20 years back, I
Mhm.
would totally dig it, but I would probably be tired after one track.
Yeah,
But for me now, it's literally this, not to sound pretentious, but for me now it's really like listening to birds outside. Like
Right.
it's supernatural to listen to it,
yeah,
and like it almost calms me down. Like
Well,
sometimes
yeah.
when I listen to Coltrane, like
Yeah.
it calms me down while
Yeah.
it's just going totally
No, but
nuts.
I remember at one point the switch for me when listening to it came when I stopped trying to understand what they were doing
Right,
and
exactly.
what it was for them. It was really like, no, that's not gonna matter anymore. Let me just analyze what I feel when I'm listening to this, you know. And
Yeah.
from there on, it just all of a sudden it got a whole new context, which was more like, hey, so if this piece is angering me, why? Why is it getting to me so
Yeah,
much? You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and then it became way more going into that trip than it ever became about anything else, and that's that was really, for me personally, it was one of those eye-opening moments. Like there's not a universal truth in arts or in music
No,
or in peace or
definitely.
whatsoever. So
Definitely.
it's not like you have to unlock a puzzle and then understand what someone is doing. It's but it's more. Lately, I've been I've been really thinking like, yeah, there's some kind of cryptography in music where you take an intention and an emotion and you hide it in tones and in music, and on the other end there's someone who's listening to it and decrypts it by listening to the piece, and the reward is feeling what is in there.
It's mental. It's literally,
And-
music is literally like a storage box for a certain emotion or
Yeah.
vibe, and how
But
that vibe
yeah, but there's nothing
translates.
more disappointing than decrypting a piece and understanding there's nothing in it. That's
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and that
So-
happens so much.
Yeah, and that's one of those things with doing something complex for the purpose of doing something complex. And
Yeah.
that's like, nah, I don't get it, but I don't get the feeling that you ever did.
No. That's like you have the same in cooking, right? Some
Yeah.
people just go too far and just dive into like this is the main course with it's all molecular cooked, and you end up with like 2 thin pieces of molecular cooked cheese from that. You know, it's like in the end, it's nothing wrong with a good plate of food. You know.
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
You
true.
can definitely overdo it, and I think some to go back to the question, like some stuff is for me, then that's only my taste. But there's also a lot of music which I just found really bland and too simple. So I
Yeah.
think, but it's all depending on taste. Like
Yeah.
if something is just simple and it's just, yeah, how do you say that? I mean,
Yeah.
there's a whole
Well, there's a difference there. There's a difference for me. It's I don't mind simple.
no, yeah. maybe
I mind fabricated.
That's
Things that feel
exactly, yeah.
like they came from an industrial straitjacket. You know,
Right.
like there's a production template. You have to follow it. There's going to be a riser before the drop. There's
Yeah,
going to be, you know,
exactly,
other stuff
exactly.
like when you start making things so simplistic that even an AI can do it,
Exactly.
then it loses its purpose for me, and then I can't listen to it anymore. But there is,
Yeah.
but a super simple song. You know, it's even even just going, "Are you sleeping?" You know that is
Yeah.
still, yeah,
It's
still brilliant.
it's so bizarre about music that like
Yeah,
also some musicians who are not technically advanced at all can touch you in ways so many other musicians can't. Like it's all about intention in the end. I think
Yeah.
what's behind the notes.
Definitely.
Does this guy mean what he plays?
Yeah.
And if you mean it, it literally doesn't matter
True.
what you do, what genre it is. It's just I don't
Yep. Nice. Mathematical equation to music. Thoughts times sound.
Templates.
Anyway, I think.
Modular gastronomy.
Right. Oh, Christ. Joey, you had a heavy mushroom trip all night. This is so well to wind down. Dude, I hope you had a nice journey.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Let's just I'm just randomly gonna hit play in some pieces and see what we actually did. I mean, we can talk about music all day, but let's see if we can walk the walk. So I'm just gonna hit play at random points and see what we actually did. I'm actually quite terrified to hear what we ended up with, because this first day, for example, I have no clue the things that actually happened. I'm just gonna see what this is, for example.
Moeten de mics nu uit?
I think so.
Nee, je moet zelf vermuten.
Which one is that?
Deze er.
Waar? Deze? TBCR?
Ja, talk control.
That was trippy. This was I think we recorded this one during soundcheck actually.
Yeah, I think so.
This was
probably later on in the file.
yeah, later on is what we actually did on stream, but this was really just right after we set up a couple of things, so let me see what else is in here because this was a nice. So that's some random noodles. But I like it. That's good. What else do we have here? We got oh, I see a Moog recording here.
What's in the end of this file?
Yeah. Yeah. Wait. Well, let me see. There's a bit. What was this? Remember this? Sam, je had wel gelijk. De effecten en de trompet mag een klein beetje terug, denk ik. Niels, kan je eens doorspelen? We had completely forgotten about this one. That was that was funny.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this one. It's some crazy fucking sounds in that Moog. The what's that metallic?
It's all FM. A lot of it is FM.
Just FM.
Yeah. And yeah.
Right, but one does not simply FM. This is
No, it's most times FM and a lot of LFOs in tune with the tempo of the ARP
okay.
that like work against each other and shit.
Fair enough. Okay,
That sort of stuff.
nice. So you're using some timed LFO on that. That's
Yeah. That's the great thing about the synth that you can like endlessly, you know, send the LFOs to stuff.
interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think I know which piece I can. Anyway.
Right. So let me see. I see a question here popping up from Cedric. Hey, dude. Question: did you guys do any recording of routing a keyboard from Niels into the modular to play part of the modular as a patch? Actually, hell yeah, we did. There's
Oh yeah.
because that's one of those things that we that we actually figured out at some point was we had a lot of trouble figuring out how to actually match up the modular with Niels' playing style, because Niels is free with chords, and the modular is everyone who plays the modular knows that it can be pretty straight ahead, full steam, in one groove, and that's it.
Yeah.
So we had to figure out some ways how to connect the two. So in the end, we used the Minimoog, basically just as a CV controller. Most
Like
of it.
the
It's-
most simple
Yeah.
form of doing that, basically.
Yeah,
I think
it's
there's
like-
a lot, like we could dive so much deeper.
Yeah, there's a lot more we probably could do. It's the biggest thing that we really needed now was a MIDI to CV converter, which this time I did not bring any of it. So we had to figure out how to sync things up over these past couple of sessions.
Which it worked, but
Yeah,
like I can imagine if you have the notes going to the modular, like we could hook all sorts of pedals up, like
true.
we could make like a whole weird setup that just completely intertwines with each
Yeah.
other. But that's
Yeah,
is it even
that's the
necessary?
thing. Like, do you actually need to do that? Because the Moog, you have how many oscillators is there in that thing?
16.
16 oscillators in there, and all of them have filters. And you actually got a full-fledged semi-modular flagship, more or less,
sort of, yeah.
going on there. So the biggest thing would really be sync. That's really the main
tempo
thing.
sync, yeah.
Yeah, tempo sync and resets and stuff like that. But that's actually the one thing. Like, first off, disclaimer: I love Moog. They've done amazing stuff, and all hail to them,
Here it
mothers
comes
of the
again.
East Coast music. But holy shit, get your act together when it comes to CV shit. I mean, how hard can it be to just have a clock output on that thing, or a clock in, or
I
even
might
a
just-
reset? What the?
I might just be looking it up wrong. Like,
No, it's well, we've been really scrolling through the entire thing, just like going on it for an hour to find some things, and even the reset input, it doesn't even work. So it was
like a me.
Yeah. That was really
Weird.
that's the one thing I'm really disappointed in with that thing, because it sounds fantastic and it's super deep and there's a ton of sequencing options you have within all that stuff, but it doesn't play well with others. It's kind of like the special needs kid. It
is.
Like it doesn't.
You're gonna say something now about special need kids?
No, I won't. It's I was a special needs kid myself, so
Same.
I can say things, but it's was. No, but it's. I mean, yeah, that's like the one part that did not line up so far. Is
Yeah. But then again, we could just hook up the MIDI to CV and then you would have the same effect, right?
true. Yeah, but
That's
I'm just saying,
basically-
like, if you have a, how much is that thing? 10K.
Yes.
They could have had a MIDI to CV converter in
Yeah,
there.
true.
That's all I'm saying. Like, they have the CV outputs, they have CV inputs, but none of them fucking work. It's-
I think it's gonna be patched into it later.
Yeah.
I think so. But
yeah, I sure hope so, because that would turn that thing instantly into a killer. But up until that point, it's
yeah, then it would just be the most killing since you could have
Yeah.
to like play on your modular as well.
serious. Yeah,
Well,
that's for sure.
Why not have an extra keyboard on your modular?
Yeah. Well, but that's actually what we did with the Minimoog, right?
Right. But
Yeah,
like
that's
play the notes as well.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, of course we did.
yeah, that's what we
true.
did with it. It's but let's let's cut on the Moog hating, because seriously, they did a great job with that. So it's oh, here there's another recording.
It's the fat kid. Only want to play alone.
Moog.
Moog is different since Bob died.
Oh, we're going dark on him now.
Yeah.
Nah, it's
Yeah. So there's a new version. Red. It's. I think it got released 2 days ago, but I haven't installed it yet. So there's
there a new firmware now?
update, so it might be in there
Interesting.
for.
Cool.
We might be bashing something that's already.
Yeah,
in
that's
there.
already patched
Right.
in. It's oh well. Right, let's move on to the next jam. I'm curious what this is. It's also, we started early, but also just so we can actually have a listening session with everything that's happened so far, because we need to freshen up our memory as well. So let's see what we find. What's this? Woo! Remember this one?
Oh yeah. Yeah, this one's.
This one was pretty sick. Let's see, what is this thing? What? I demoted Jutsu in the background. Sam, come over here.
Take a seat.
Oh,
No, I was just kidding.
oh my god. Poor guy.
You guys are.
Yeah,
freaking
this is
out.
actually on a scale of if you had to rate your the intensity of this session for you compared to the last one on a scale of 1 to 10. How many colors for your next studio have you picked in this week?
Yes, I'm actually designing my desk.
You're designing your desk.
I'm learning SketchUp as we speak.
Wow.
Oh god, yeah. This week has been a little bit different. Right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Great nonetheless.
Right. Yeah. Here, have a seat, man.
Sure.
Ah.
I mean, there's been slightly less technical involvement here, but
Right.
it's
It's,
just setting up and letting you guys
Yeah.
do your thing. So
More or less. It's like last time we really had a very full-on and a very intense week of just doing everything and patch up all the things and all that
patched
stuff.
the full, yeah, that was crazy.
It's but this week was more kind of like a writing camp, I guess,
yeah,
in a way.
yeah, you guys are really experimenting with the music
Yeah.
more than the technical side of things.
Right.
It just
Yeah.
needed to work, and then that was good enough.
But then, do sessions like that happen here often? Where do people actually book studios just to?
I'd say it's rare to book this studio in particular,
Yeah.
but
'cause-
there are like writing camps.
yeah,
studios
there's
looking
writing
at-
rooms over
There's
there.
writing
that,
rooms, yeah.
Like,
I think Warner's involved and that kind of stuff, and
right.
they put artists in the in a
Yeah.
writing camp kind of situation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I was thinking about that we really have booked a very luxury room for what we're doing here.
Yeah.
It's,
But the truth still holds that the things you do capture are done
yeah,
with maximum fidelity and
that makes sense.
an awesome amount of audio power.
Yeah.
So
That's true. We were actually talking about that this morning. Like, out of all the pieces of equipment in here, which are the ones that really make the biggest difference?
mm-hmm.
And yeah, I really think right now my mind is set on the room itself.
Yeah.
The speakers, the converters. Like, holy shit, people need to stop buying shit converters and just go for the best they can afford, because it's the single most important piece of kit in your entire studio.
Yeah.
And that LA2A compressor. That's
Yeah.
Oh, and the EMI right there. That's
Yeah, so that's the two most characterful coloring pencils you could find.
right.
It turned out to be your favorite, which make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But furthermore, I like to say the room, because I think that the way you listen to stuff has influenced you a lot.
Really, it did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And now you got to A/B it, because you went from the live room into here.
Yeah.
And it just changed the whole session.
True. Yeah.
You started making different music.
That's for sure. It's like that was one of the biggest changes. That real quick in between, what converters is it that we're using
The
here?
Prism 88 800, I think they're called.
Yeah. It's the Prism ones, right?
88803 or something. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Prism Sound.
Yeah, they sound so good. It's
Yeah, 888XR.
yeah, and that's like yeah, those Prism converters. That's the sort of stuff that people don't usually have that sitting at home. So
It's a crazy price range. It's 4,000 euros for 8 channels.
right,
For
yeah,
8 channels.
8 channels, 4K. That's actually
Back and forth.
worth it.
Yeah. I mean, even if you can just do only 8 channels, it's still worth it.
Yeah, Jesus. But yeah, they sound awesome. It's I really like that. That's
Yeah.
But no, it's indeed. I think the entire session changed dramatically
Yeah.
once we left the live room, right?
Definitely.
Hmm.
It's
I mean, it always feels weird to be in a studio like this and then have a headphone on.
Yeah.
Still have crappy sound.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
and I think like tracks like these, maybe if you would make them in a bedroom setting,
yeah,
it just wouldn't. It just would be a bit different. Like
right,
the fact that you have this gear makes it so much better.
yeah,
Then an idea like that like works.
yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that makes sense. For sure.
It's nice listening back to it this week.
Yeah, it's fun because this week has been this week has been crazy so far with kind of this continuous slight undertone of panic attacks happening. Like, oh, are we doing enough? And then listening back to things and go like, holy shit, this is quite crazy. And it's
But that's the thing with the studio that I can't seem to shake off never when I'm in a studio like this is and that's a downside I feel of working.
mhm,
I do always feel a sort of pressure,
the performance pressure.
time pressure,
Yeah,
Right.
and it's like greatly alleviated because you are okay with working late, which
Mhm.
makes all the difference for me.
Yeah.
Normally in a studio like this, it's you start at 9 and you end at
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
And like at around 4 or 5, the engineer is gonna start sighing.
Yeah.
If you ask him something,
Mhm.
Sure.
just let's be real.
Yeah.
And then you're like, then I hate it because then you constantly have the pressure. And
Yeah.
then you're like, fuck, why am I here? I just let's go home where I have all the time in the world to make something.
Yeah.
But yeah. it's
So
a
that
really
makes
big
sense. You don't want to have
difference
that. It can also help in the sense that okay, so this is if you have a fixed ending time, then you can have a focus. Like
True.
you can make like a subliminal planning maybe.
True.
But yeah, I think it's nicer to have a relaxed time environment.
For
at least.
creating shit,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just need to do parts.
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
But, and then it's great man, working in holy shit.
Absolutely.
And,
You should have a studio for a year, just a whole year.
I actually, yeah, I would want that.
Yeah, right.
I would really want that. A studio like this, like a proper sounding room, and a proper set of speakers, and a proper converter.
Imagine going there every day. I don't,
Only imagine, Sam, if only.
if only.
I don't want to think about it.
Imagine if that happened.
If only, I mean, God, what would you do for,
Every day?
for every day, for having a well-tuned room just for yourself?
I'd eat pancakes for breakfast.
You'd eat
every day.
pancakes for breakfast
For every day.
every day?
That would be my reward.
That would
That's what I'd live for.
you'd live for it, right?
Pancakes for breakfast.
Man.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Imagine that happening ever in our
I
lifetime.
almost can't.
Like, over the next 3 months.
Can you imagine if something like that would happen then? By the end of the year, for example.
For example, by the end of the year. Oh,
Wouldn't
God.
that be something?
Yeah. Right. Speaking of music, what else do we have here? This is the pre-dinner jam. Let's have a listen. After that, the stream actually went on, so I won't play that. But here is a jam that we did right before dinner. And I think... Oh, that's actually the one that we just listened to. And then there's the whole stream session.
Was there any good in the stream?
In the stream, there was good stuff in the stream, but... Do we want to listen back to that right now?
Nah, I'm good.
Right now, let's move on to the session for Did we do any stuff off stream on day 2?
I think so.
Let's have a listen. I think we did. Yeah, we definitely did. Let's have a listen. This was the endless loop where we're trying to figure out how to do that that weird patch. I think this is where we. interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
There was a moment where we started to change the pitch.
right, yeah, that was
the jam afterwards.
let's find. This is where you actually. Yeah, I think from this point on, we patched up the CV control into the. Right? Let's see. Is that here? Okay, this is funny. So, we just now figured out that we've both been counting this jam differently.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just listening to it like... So, basically like this, but you're
Yeah.
going all different on it.
12/8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear it like
But that's...
it makes no difference because it's like yeah, you
Maar jij zegt wel...
The end doesn't
Holy
matter.
shit. No, but it's... Yeah, but it's interesting though. It's that's proper weird.
All the lol.
Nice, Lucas Pearson. Thank you so much. Fucking awesome. Pizza fund.
Was that for my clapping?
I think so. Your clapping was very, very musicalist. It's, actually, there were, but what was the other?
Yeah, this is where it started to get cool.
Yeah. Let me just find it because was this the jam where things really went well? I think this was it. This is interesting. Let's have a listen to this, and then we're gonna skip to the next day because all of this is actually stream stuff. But after this, things got proper weird. So let's check this out, and then we'll see. That was nice.
Yep. That was pretty sick.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, that was fun. It's yeah, proper take.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. And after this, we had an existential crisis for like half an hour. I remember that. That was This was where-
there was one other vibe we had.
that day.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm not sure what else is in this session, but
Yeah,
this is definitely a really good one.
yeah. This take is something I would like to remember. I'm just gonna skip through this one. Oh yeah, here we had some epic 200 BPM weirdness. Right.
What's in the end of the file we just played?
This is. Oh yeah. Ooh, yes. Next session. Vibey.
Yeah.
So yeah. Let's see. Let's have a look. This was the session you listened to just now. This was actually day 2 of the stream, so you guys probably have already heard it. But we're now entering the realm of the unknown.
The realm of the unknown.
Have you watched Frozen 2 yet?
No.
Into the unknown. Fuck yeah, dude! It's seriously.
I stopped watching Disney shit.
No, you gotta watch this one.
Frozen?
Yeah, but just for the soundtrack.
Alright.
Seriously, the soundtrack is insane.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's so fucking good.
Okay.
It's I mean, I've had that entire soundtrack on loop in my head ever since I saw it.
Crazy. Who wrote it?
Chris Beck.
Hmm.
You know what else Chris Beck does? He's a crazy modular composer.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's I'm not even joking. It's Christoph Beck. The first thing I heard of him was a track he composed called Rubberneckers, and you gotta. I'll just play you a little bit of this. Let me see. And it's probably one of the best. Yeah, this guy knows his shit. Like, I'm not kidding. You gotta check it out later.
No.
But then when I started looking him up, I saw he had writing credits for Frozen 1 and Frozen 2 and Ant-Man and all kinds of shit. And I was like, holy crap, this dude knows what he's doing. But, so he also...
He's an actual composer.
He's an actual composer who, in his free time, messes around with modular stuff. And he actually... I brought him over to Holland once for kind of a modular project where we put everything in one massive room and just kind of exposed patches as kind of sculptures in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent me one piece which was kind of a very weird... I'm going to send you that, or I'll play it to you, and we won't tell him. But it's proper freaky bebop jazz on a modular, and it sounds super cool. But anyway, so yeah, of course I had to watch both those Frozen ones. And yeah, I'm sorry, I became a total fanboy for that
I
one.
might just watch Frozen.
Yeah, just do it.
Disney movie. That's
Go and
been a
watch
long
Disney,
while.
man. It's stick it to the mouse, but not this time. Let's see. Let's have a look. So day 3. What do we do? Let me just play some things. Oh, right, yeah, this one.
Shit. Oh, yeah.
Remember? Yeah, so that was definitely vibey. It's a very very dark and gritty jam. What I like about this one is you guys remember the clock experiments, right? My 1.5 week nervous breakdown over how to kind of unhinge the clock. Well, it's doing wonders in this last jam. In on the kick itself, where it is only the last kick. Well, the kicks gradually speed up a little bit so that the first kick in the loop always drops slightly later than you want it, and therefore there's always gives you kind of this weight emphasis on every one drop that happens, and it's I don't know. It's the downside of the clock patch is that it's impossible to tell a BPM.
Right.
Like every time Niels asked me, like, "Yeah, what BPM are we?" and I was like, "I don't know," but it's, but in the end, it does provide us with some sort of groove. Like wonky clocks are awesome.
Yeah.
It's I mean, you gotta watch out with wonky clocks because it can get very weird, but.
Yeah.
I think in this case it worked out. I'm happy with that. It's so the next one was the this was the weird
Oh yeah.
right, that one, right? Let's tame down this a
Loading
little.
screen tune.
Yeah. So that is another one of the ideas, I guess.
Yeah.
But I really like how that one worked out. It's very, very weird glitchy game show tune.
Yeah.
But
Basically, Dreamcast loading screen music.
full on Dreamcast, man. Oh man, I was always so jealous of people who had a Dreamcast
Yeah,
back
same
then.
here. I've never
It's
had it. It's just one shop who I know had it. Just
yeah,
went there to watch it.
yeah.
basically,
That was,
or play at it. Dreamcast is
Dreamcast was fucking awesome, but
best console.
it's such a shame that it never really caught on. It was slightly too expensive, I think,
Yeah.
but
It was
and way
expensive.
too hard to program for. Like,
Yeah.
that was the thing that no one
Exactly.
understood how to do it, but they were so far ahead of their time.
Yeah.
Like
Definitely.
the actual next generation console of the time, I guess. That's
It was amazing when it came out, like what it could do. Like
Soul Calibur.
yeah.
Oh my god.
But also a lot of games were especially made for it, right? So a lot of really original games came out on
Yep.
Dreamcast.
Yeah, that's some crazy
Yeah.
crazy special content, but I believe it was too hard and too expensive to program for, so
Too bad. But
Yeah.
This giant controller as well.
right. Yeah. Yeah, it's no. I would. Yeah, it's
too
it's the
expensive.
controller. I actually never really understood how to play play that. So, but that was yeah, that
They
was so
should do
much
like a
reissue.
reissue of the Dreamcast like they did with the Super Nintendo.
Right.
Have like a small version of it.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
Actually, are those things? It should be possible to still find them on eBay, right? At
Yeah,
Dreamcast.
but I guess they're worth a pretty penny.
Right. Yeah.
It's probably really expensive.
You think so?
Yeah, I think a Dreamcast because
Yeah.
it's super limited.
Yeah. Working condition Dreamcast.
Let's look it up.
Yeah. Actually, what's the price of a Dreamcast? That's what I'm gonna do. We're sitting here. We got a massive, awesome music studio, and we're gonna look up the price of a Dreamcast. And I
Let's
think
go.
that's actual proper spending of my time right now,
Exactly.
and by extension, yours.
How much is the Dreamcast worth?
Dreamcast eBay. Actually, that's
What?
not bad. $130.
Dude.
Oh, fair enough.
But that's the beginning of the bidding, right? I never understand how eBay
Right.
works.
Yeah. Nor do I, but I actually
Look at
see them
that.
for $50 here, so that's.
But it's yellow.
I think we're gonna get a studio Dreamcast. I think
Yes,
that's
man.
a good idea. Yeah, indeed. 128-bit console was the first one. It's Nintendo 64 was out, I believe, but this one was way, way, way ahead of its time.
Man,
But
always companies who just go out of their way to make something technically advanced. Always, like
Yeah.
the first one to do it always gets the.
well, sometimes you have first mover advantage, but it's just making something technically awesome is not enough. You have to be able to bridge it to people who actually
Right.
know how to program things for it.
Right.
Otherwise, it's not gonna make sense. Like it's like the like having a Hadron Super Collider in your game room. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do with that thing? You know, it's
Play No Man's Sky.
probably
Yeah.
finally run bug free on that.
Real life No Man's Sky. With atoms.
But yeah, anyway, this that track, that jam we just did was pretty much Jazz Jackrabbit. Was what you had in mind, right?
Yeah, so I think we should make this into a cool short tune. It's a bit of a funny tune as well.
Yeah,
Could really work.
yeah, just 2.5 minutes, full on
Yeah.
blast, or make it a 10-hour, just continuous
Yeah.
looping. Just
And
go.
just add some like ludicrous parts to it, like
Yeah,
really weird game music type of stuff.
yeah,
That would be
definitely.
cool.
Yeah, but I like this one. And then there was. Here are some weird little vibes we did afterwards. And I believe after that we're actually getting to the last jam of our recorded stream of consciousness.
Oh yeah, this one.
I really like this one.
Yeah.
This one was so weird and wonderful.
Yeah.
Right. I like that one.
Yep.
Weird and wonderful. Very, very weird. And then I believe... I love that super weird out of tune
Shit.
shit. The whole quarter tone madness and everything. It's...
Yeah. This was mainly whole tone stuff and like the Messian stuff.
Right. Now, was this finally the Messian stuff happening?
I think I played the fourth mode, and I think the second mode. I think the second mode is whole tone, and the fourth mode is the four minor thirds stacked on each other.
Yeah.
And if you these two are really chill to combine.
Cool. Okay.
really weird, but it sounds.
Messian scales. I still don't know what it is,
Yeah.
but every time when I hear you do something awesome, you say like, yeah, Messian, as if it means something. It's
Yeah, I'm trying to really get it to work, but
right.
it's pretty. You. At first you're like, okay, this is a cool sounding outside thing, but then you need to hear it in your head before you play it.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it always sounds weird in the wrong way, you know?
Yeah.
It's just weird.
True.
But if you and that's the thing with the whole tone, you like after a while you can imagine the whole tone scale.
Yeah.
And then you can just play around with it. But
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just
I like that.
not there yet.
Yeah.
Long way to go. But,
I think we have reached the last recording coming up.
is this what's the next one in this file?
Oh, here. This is where we switched.
Okay. Cool.
That was some turkey sounds.
What the fuck? What the hell?
Yeah, in my free time I make music. Very, very etheric stuff. It's
Yeah. Oh yeah.
right.
Yo, die chords die zijn gewoon mooi.
Those chords are pretty nice, actually.
Yeah. So
Shame we completely destroyed it.
so yesterday we started doing a jam. We tried to write a chord scheme.
Yesterday was.
We took the entire day to in the end make a 2-bar loop.
Yeah.
That was
My
fucking nice.
God, it was. Yesterday it
Like
was a
we-
massacre. It was.
We went full circle.
Yeah, it was really like it was awesome, but at the same time it was very, very frustrating because we spent so much time trying to make up the perfect loop and like a massive chord thing, and it was it was really, really frustrating to get somewhere, and in the end we decided, you know what, fuck it. And I think this happened, and it's probably one of the dirtiest
Yeah.
things. Like this is the type of stuff that makes you shower with your clothes on. That's that's yeah. Let's just listen to this. See what it.
laatste take hiervan. Hetzelfde.
Right. Yeah, the last take, I believe, we did a techno remix of it. Remember?
Oh ja.
Yeah, let me see.
Voor to
That
the
was-
Fun one.
Yeah, that was this one, I think, where we went and see if we could do an alternative take, and that was the
Fucking mental. What the hell?
oh, that track, and it took us
Whole day.
all fucking day, and by the end of the day, we were really, oh man, I was about ready to just, oh man. But all the iterations and versions we went through to actually get to this point, it's, man. But yeah, by
Yeah,
the
we went full circle on this one.
we did,
Because we started out with the beat, and then we took hours to make
yeah.
a nice chord scheme.
Because
then
where did we start? We started off doing this, I think. Let's just skip through the day so far. This is let me here, I'm gonna But yeah, basically that was well everything we kind of went through. So then at the end, just go fuck it and end up with the banger take. And yeah, I'm just gonna play it again because. So then ultimately the idea is to switch it up with this. Bring this one back in there. Yeah. Hell yeah, I'm happy with that. I mean, holy shit. This is probably the simplest. Yeah, speaking of simple tracks and simple compositions, this is like way at the start of today's stream. We were talking about that. Like, when is something so simple that it becomes lame? Oh, this is simple. Like, literally the only thing we're listening to right now is, I think 4 tracks, maybe 6 maximum. You have a kick drum, a clap, a bass line. That's 3, and then we have the same bass filtered down and EQ'd, and 2 tracks of reverb. So that's it. Oh yeah, and the hi-hat at the end, so that makes 7 tracks. But it's it just makes me happy. Makes me so fucking happy, this one. And it's not gonna need that much else. Like, we were just talking about how it's gonna what could benefit this track. And then we're looping back to the start where we were looking at this very thin Moog sound, the and we also recorded one Moog drop, which was really just that does actually sound awesome. Can we actually pull that up, Sam?
What's that?
The desk version with let's see I just want to hear that first drop with that first Moog notes, because Moog. Yeah. It's still soloed, isn't it?
Didn't we have an extra track for that?
Did we?
Where is the extra drop?
It's let me see. It's on the
Is it?
No, it's in one session before this one, or it's in this jam bit right here. Yeah, that's the one.
The one with the drop.
Yeah, that notes. So then we just have to solo that one too, right? And then we're good?
Probably, yep.
Nice. Yeah, because... Can you play back a little bit?
Oh, you're making this louder? The speed?
Yeah, I boosted the... There we go. That's all. Seriously, just it's just a good hit of that, and
And a
then
small team.
1 or 2 extra like glitchy notes in there. But when you hear this just makes you happy, right? Just oh fucking hell. It's just dirty. I like it. I love it so much. I mean, just this. Yeah. Fucking hell. I mean.
Yeah, I love it.
I want to make a 10-hour YouTube loop off of that. Just that drop. Just keep it going. You know. It's. Yeah.
It's a good meme template. This one.
It definitely is a good meme template.
It's a very good meme template.
Right? Just blast it so loud. And the thing is that it actually benefits. Yeah, just put more distortion on it, and the more you put on it, the better it sounds. You know, just like really the completely broken bullshit. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. Happy with this one.
Very, very happy with this one.
It's ironic that this is. I think I'm most happy with this.
I think so too. Right?
tune.
This one is. I mean, all the other stuff together sounds like a cool EP releasey thing. Like,
Yeah.
should be fun. This tune,
As
I want an
maybe
A side of this, and I want a
separate
B side
tune.
twice as long of this, and
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And just release it like that because,
True.
yeah,
True.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
definitely. Let's do
I
it.
mean, even just even that techno version is.
The techno version.
I mean,
It's mental.
it sounds so very techno Viking. It makes me so happy. So, yeah. Good stuff, all in all.
Yeah.
Right.
Try to find some more.
Yeah, it's we still got a few hours, so we can still play some. Hang on, let me see. I'm gonna head over to the questions section for a second, because I'm actually kind of thinking that we can play some more, but I actually enjoy the Upstream in the Dark session quite a bit.
The what?
Just continuing off stream and just going in some little deep dark rabbit hole on that.
Right.
So let's I'm gonna have a look and see if there's some questions here, and then after that, I'm sorry, but we're gonna go back behind closed doors on this and continue our session.
Yeah, the plan definitely was
Offline.
to stream every day,
Yeah,
but sorry.
sorry about that. We're just getting way
Sometimes it
too.
works. Sometimes it just.
Yeah.
It's just. It's also not about the. I think we both have the most amazing Twitch viewers.
Oh man,
And
it's,
the
the
most
community's fucking
wholesome
awesome with this.
fucking Twitch community. But so it's not their fault. It's just
It's
different.
not you, it's me.
Yeah, it's all me.
Yeah. So,
Oh, that's it. That's it. Oh.
but I see a question here. Maybe I missed it, but at any point did you do any reamping of Niels synth during this session?
Nah.
We didn't really do. We didn't really do a lot of reamping, actually.
We didn't do any reamping.
Well, that's not true. We did a little bit of
Alright,
reamping,
yeah.
but we mostly used that LA2A compressor. That thing. Seriously, it's I'm gonna be looking for that one. It's might even be a cool DIY project because it's all point to point soldering. So apparently it should be an interesting starting point to do something with. But it sounds so good. It's like all the drums so far have been processed with that compressor, and it sounds so fat. It sounds so insanely big. So, yeah, it's that thing. We've been using that a lot. We've been doing some stuff with plate and lexicons and stuff like that, but we haven't really been doing a lot of reamping, and in that sense, we have not really been using a lot of the options that we have in the studio, except for just the vibe, the room, the speakers, and the converters. But that was actually all that we needed to do. Let me see. Have you routed any sounds through the plate reverbs in the basement? They look mad. Well, actually, yes. We've been using some of the plate stuff, right, Sam?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
right. We got one of the stereo plates in there.
Yep.
And also the Lexicon 480.
Yeah, the Lexicon 480. That thing is, it's so funny because that's an old school reverb, right?
Yeah, 80s.
Yeah, it's but it's a digital
Or 90s.
reverb,
Yeah,
right?
digital, yeah.
It's so crazy because it still sounds
It's beautiful
super,
sounding. And it has its own chips, and the converters in there have their own particular sound. I think it's 16-bit or 12-bit or something funky.
awesome.
Which, yeah,
Yeah.
gives it a certain...
Yeah,
But also we know the sound really well. It's in most of the hit records, you know.
true.
We'll
True,
have a
it's-
480 in there.
It sounds
Right.
good because we know it
Yeah,
sounds good, and
yeah.
that's
it. It's
You
kind
listen
of
to
our,
it for hours already.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're
it's
already-
like
you know what it's going to sound like.
yeah, kind of like
It's
putting
familiar.
salt on your food. It's
Oh yeah,
it's
it's
just
yeah,
that extra bit of polish.
That's right.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
The umami under the reverb.
Right.
Really.
Umami of the reverbs. Oh my god, let's get gastronomical on this. I like that. It's let me see. I think yeah, I think we have it all. And we're gonna do a little bit more jamming. Oh my god. That tune is stuck in my head right now.
Have a look at the Never interview with Gunther. Oh, what? Did they interview him?
What? Oh my god, yeah. The interview with Techno Viking.
So
I think I saw a
maybe
little bit of that.
Let's watch that while eating.
Yeah, I like that. It's Techno Viking. He
Legend.
yeah, he's such a great dude. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna get back at it for the last few hours. And yeah, we just wanted to give you guys an update of everything that we've been doing so far. This is actually a session that we're going to be editing quite heavily, I think.
Yeah.
There's quite a few things that we need and want to do on it. But
Yeah, there are a lot of good bases for
yeah,
for tracks, I think.
definitely.
And then
And that last track, it's just going to be...
yeah, that's just what it is. What it is. That's
It's
already
just... Yeah.
there. It's catchy.
Right. Okay, so when is the next catch up? Let me see. In the coming week, I will definitely be back with another regular bedroom stream. Just
Same
going
here.
for some techno vibes. Niels, when are you on again?
I think Monday or Tuesday.
Monday or
Yeah,
Tuesday?
then I'm back to
Nice.
3 times a week.
Awesome.
I hope.
Yeah, you're going back full on with the schedule.
Yeah, I'm gonna change it to 3 times instead
Nice.
of 5 times. That was
Right.
a bit too much.
Yeah, it's
Just when I
don't
started
get burned
to-
out on that stuff.
No, but like
So,
I'm just gonna repeat myself in
Right.
the end. So fuck that.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
well, if only you would repeat yourself, then you can finally record all those jams that I've been nagging
Right.
you about. It's
I'm recording now. I already have 3 streams, and it's a great, it's a very good producing tool. I'm
Exactly.
finding out now because it's
Yeah.
just, and also I want to think of a way to like, oh yeah, I got an email about some guy wanted to be my intern, so I was like,
oh really?
this guy is gonna cut them all up, and he's just gonna make a sample bank of my own shit. That would
That's
be
it.
perfect.
That's good. It's
If that's legally.
it
It's
is.
still better than like cleaning my house and doing my laundry and shit. So
Well, yeah, no, but it's actually that's I swear to God, a challenge would be to do every jam as if you would not be able to ever edit anything in it, and
Yeah.
then edit only the
Yeah.
minimum amount needed. Because seriously, listening
Yeah.
to the jams that you're doing live, I wouldn't change a bit. And
yeah, I'm just for me it's
So-
a bit of the drums, like because when you're gonna release multiple tracks of that,
Yeah.
all the drums will be 808s, so that will probably be a bit bored. That feels
so
like a
it's
bit
when you do a
boring.
violin concerto, everything is gonna sound like a
True,
violin. You know, it's.
true,
I mean, it's.
true.
I think we got spoiled with sound design to the point where we expect everything to sound different, but
Yeah.
sometimes a piano is just a fucking piano, man, and
That's true,
sometimes
that's
a drum
true.
is just a drum, and it's
Uh,
like it's not about that. It's the vibe and the essence of when that actually happened
yeah.
that triggered you to do something, and that's
The hard thing, and that's the endless, and I think we've done a lot of research in that because of doing so many jam sessions already, but I've always feel in the end, and I'm getting better at it, but that's the hardest thing is to like jam in a way where it's more instant composing than
Yeah.
vibing.
true.
And like the goal for me will always be like less vibing,
Yeah,
more composing in
Right.
a way. And that's right, that's the big challenge about jamming.
yeah,
Because like vibes to in the end, just a vibe is really
Yeah.
cool. But like to release it, you listen to it 5
True.
times and you think it's the
Yeah.
best, and then you're like,
yeah. But I think there's kind of this there's this tension there because you have compose what you vibe on and vibe while composing and jam your compositions like you vibe on it and jam your vibes like you're composing
Right.
it. You know, you cannot leave one part out of it
True.
and go. If you go less vibe and more composition, then you get to the point where your composition starts sounding technical and hollow. You know, and it's
True,
you
but the
need
vibe
that.
should just be like one element you compose with.
Well, the vibe is kind of the realm that everything exists in, right? And then you compose everything and decorate that vibe with an awesome composition.
I
But
feel like vibe sometimes is like an ingredient like time, or like melody,
right,
or harmony, and the vibe is just. I want to get to a point where the vibe is a part of the tune,
yeah,
but it's not the tune itself.
yeah, right,
So like if you would take out, and that's it's hard. Like a lot of music is vibe. If music is vibe only,
mm-hmm,
I can still really enjoy it, but it never
yeah.
becomes something I would want to.
No, but if you,
know
go
what I
like,
mean? Like,
but if you go Far Side Passing Me By, for example,
huh?
that track is 100% vibe
Yeah.
and 100% dope.
True. Yeah.
You know, and it's full on intention and energy and very awesomely produced.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the vibe is always there.
true. True.
You know, and that's
But it's a thin line, right? Like
it's a very
if-
thin
if-
line, yeah.
For
but-
example, the whole. I mean, Dilla did it as a, Dilla made vibes.
yeah,
For me, like all the great composers made
yeah,
classical music.
right,
Dilla is just out of that league for me.
Yeah.
But like a lot of music that came from the.
yeah,
Nowadays it's called lo-fi hip hop,
right,
which I'm not hating on lo-fi hip hop by any.
Yeah.
But it's never, when I listen to that,
yeah,
then I was like, yeah, beat 43, the one with the roads, 2 minor road score. It's really,
yeah,
I really want to listen to that thing specifically.
yeah,
And maybe that's the music's not even made for that purpose. You can
Yeah.
make music for different purposes. You
Yeah.
can make music that just really fits in a room, or
Yeah.
like is
True.
the best elevator music.
right. This is
That's-
true. Yeah,
So that's
Makes
sometimes
sense.
like I get bored with stuff that is just a vibe.
right. No, that makes sense. I must say, by the way, side note, I think lo-fi would be a very gross understatement. They should
Yeah.
call it sci-fi. I think that would be so much better. It's
Sci-fi hip hop.
yeah, yeah. Just fucking go sci-fi on it, and that's
But like Dilla did it in a way that like you actually remember the grooves on those
Yeah.
beats. And I
no
think
true, and
that's
it's
another
and
art,
it's
like-
super super
Yeah.
well produced. But same with Go Thundercat. You know, Oh Shite It's X.
yeah.
That is so much vibe packed in that track.
yeah, true.
The mix sounds like shit. Sorry,
Yeah,
dude,
true.
but still, it's a banger of a track. You know.
It's
It's,
fucking crazy. And it's so well written. All this
Yeah.
stuff. It's mental.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. So I'm saying like I do understand what you're saying, but don't compose away your vibe. And
No, definitely.
yeah, that's
But it's I don't know. The
You know-
goal is the best jams are really things that you could have composed as well. and
Right,
then-
yeah.
I don't know.
definitely true.
So-
No, that's
somewhere in
true.
between.
It's
It's all a balance thing, I think.
Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you all for the support. Shout out to everyone who has contributed to this session. You
Yes,
guys are
thanks a
fucking
lot.
awesome. And, yep. See you all next time. Niels, Moog Meditations, you're going to catch him over on Twitch. Twitch. Twitch.tv. Twitch.tv. And Sam, what are you gonna do?
Keep designing my desk, I think.
Keep designing your desk. Fucking awesome.
Making an imaginary room.
Imaginary room.
Yes.
Oh man, you're gonna have pancakes for breakfast.
Oh yeah, pancakes for breakfast.
So many pancakes for breakfast.
Raspberries, blueberries,
I fucking love it.
syrup.
Nice.
Chicken
Hey guys,
waffles.
people, thank you all so much.
Oh, yeah.
This was great. Next week again.
Bye.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.